Welcome to the Mile High Podcast. This is your host, Dr. Daniel Knowles. Thank you for joining us from whatever altitude you are at. As you know, we're at the Mile High altitude where we expect and you want to be at in September of 2023 at Mile High 11. So we look forward to seeing you there. You can get all the details on that at riseuptomilehigh.com. Right now on the Mile High Podcast, I want to make sure to encourage you to hit subscribe so you never miss any Mile High tick. And today we're going to be diving into the business of tick, particularly the web-related business. And I'm very grateful to have Justin Harned, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing Justin's name, Harned, as a guest. Justin is part of and runs Rounded Digital, and Rounded Digital is a phenomenal SEO and web marketing firm. But that's not where Justin had his start. He was born in Columbus, Mississippi, and lived in Charlotte, North Carolina. Found his way, and I did not know this till today, to CU, where our kids go. And I'm in, as he knows, I'm in Boulder. Then he migrated, many different areas around Colorado, but found his passion in music and discovered after years of being, doing the music scene and navigating music industry, how much he grew in terms of marketing and sales, because that is so involved, and how that grows into digital landscapes. So he founded Rounded Digital, and we are going to go into the basically into the SEO digital marketing world for you as a healthcare professional. And really, he is a phenomenally knowledgeable and full of wisdom person. I know that you're going to gain a lot out of this particular podcast. His personality is really infectious, as I learned when I met him at Mile High this past year, and as many of you met. Thank you so much for joining us today, Justin.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're grateful to have you here. First of all, can you share a little bit about people, so people get to know you personally? We talked a lot about music industry. So how did you find your way from college to music, to how that all tie into then the world of marketing and digital marketing?
Absolutely.
Rounded Digital.
For me, it all just, it's always easy to look back and put together the dots, right? But when you're looking forward in life, you have no idea where you're going to go or how you're going to get there. But looking back and connecting the dots, it all just worked out perfectly, in the sense that music and being in a band and needing to fill concert venues was marketing. And I didn't realize at the time that I was basically giving myself a master's in marketing and communications by trying to fill up seats. I would just read blogs, talk to other musicians, talk to venue owners, and I navigated my way through the industry, ultimately figuring out how to be a successful band. We did pretty well. We played with some huge groups across the US. We've toured almost every state in the country. We had a tour van, we had a trailer, we had a PA system. We could do the expensive shows, the ones that paid us well. We had 3 hours worth of covers that we had learned and memorized perfectly. So we could play in the casinos, off on the little sidebars where they actually pay well. And that would actually fund our tours. So we go exhaust ourselves for days on end. And then we go and pay to play at Whiskey A Go-Go in LA and other venues similar to it. And as you're doing that, you're doing everything that involves sales, as well as digital marketing, right? I can remember one of my worst spins in the marketing world was putting $3,000 toward display and banner ads on the Westward website to try and fill up one of our CD release parties at the High Dive, which is a cool venue over on Broadway if you haven't been there. And we did okay, but for $3,000, I definitely didn't get a return on my investment. It was a failure. But every time you fail at something, you eventually learn more and more. And one of the coolest, right? You got to fail up, right? You
fail up and fail forward.
Absolutely, fail forward. The coolest thing I ever did was actually some black hat SEO on our website. This was before Google became as smart as it is now, of course. But back in the day, you could just fill your website up with keywords.
Right.
And
I remember that. I remember people doing that with my website.
Yeah, we had our band website, and the borders were all black. And in the borders, I coded in best rock band in Denver, best punk band in Denver, best live music in Denver, over and over and over again, all the way down the sides of the border. Next thing you know, I'm first position for everything related to it, and that was hands down the best marketing I ever did for our band. So at the time, I didn't really even know SEO was something you could pay for. It was about not even a few months after I left the band, I had another back injury, and I went to see Dr. Trent Artichoker from Denver Chiropractic LLC. Mm-hmm. And I was chatting with him. I started to see him often because I was going through a pretty severe injury at the time. And he was telling me about how he's paying the Denver Post $1,200 a month for SEO. And I'm like, SEO? I think I know what that is. He's like, yeah, it's working pretty well for me. It's not the greatest, but I'm seeing some results. And I'm like, I know what SEO is. And at the time I knew what it was back in 2009 or whatever it was when I stuffed our website with keywords. But it had already evolved quite a bit since then. I decided that I wanted to get into that industry, kind of right then and there. It made me decide that this sounds like something I could do and enjoy because I'm a competitive person. I like to help people. And if I can get really good at search engine optimization, then I can help businesses grow, which will in turn lead to me having a great network of business owners and friends. And it's worked out perfectly.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's crazy how it all comes back to that one client, right? That one guy that I was a client of, Dr. Trent.
Well, I tell you, as I was talking before, I at some point ran a radio station. I learned so much being sales manager, business manager, general manager, a radio station in terms of business that parlayed into things I do in my practice. So seems like similarly that did in you in terms of helping people in the digital landscape. Now, you said something that was very, very important, how particular strategies change. There's one point you could do a whole lot of different things and rank up your website. That can't be done now. So in doctor, I talk to doctors all the time and say, well, I said, do you have a website? Oh, well, I built one, or I had my neighbor build one. I still hear that. Oh, yeah. And I want to bang my head against the wall because they're losing so much business. You probably hear that too. Okay. So what are some things that are just beginning, before you dive deeper, musts in terms of a chiropractic office or any healthcare provider in their digital landscape?
Foundationally speaking, your website is the most important aspect because everything is built around that, right? If you buy a bench ad on a bus stop, that's going to link to your URL. If you run a commercial on television, you're going to tell people to go to your URL, right? You run a radio ad. At the end of it, you're going to say, go to www.imachiropractorinthisscity.com, right? So no matter what, it all comes back to your website. So I think the most important thing that any medical professional, whether they're a chiropractor or a functional medicine doctor, massage therapist owner is investing into their website and doing it in the beginning because it is a robust investment. Mm-hmm. A cheap website is exactly that. It's a cheap website.
Well said. Well said.
You buy it cheap, you buy it twice. That's just how it goes. So I think that it's worth it to spend the money on an agency that's well-reviewed and has a good success story behind them. It can be daunting. The price can be scary for a lot of business owners, especially in the beginning. A lot of people are starting out with no funding. It's the best way to start out, in my opinion. Grind your way up. It takes longer, but it's also easier not to spend it's better to spend money that's yours as opposed to money that you had come right in. However, both ways work depending on the person. Yeah. I'm glad we bootstrapped Rowdy Digital because I'm terrible with other people's money, only good with my own.
That's very well said. So now, what are the areas that, a person, so website is foundation, and then what's next? How do we get more traffic to our website? How do we get more people coming to our office from our website?
Absolutely. And there's multiple avenues, right? We've got social media, we've got advertising on social media and on search engines, particularly Google. So you can pay for traffic, which in the beginning is always a good idea because search engine optimization is your long-term strategy, right? And I'm an SEO guy to the core. So I really do believe that you should be investing in SEO right from the get-go. However, it's a big ticket, right? That's a monthly expense, and it's an expense for at least the first 6 to 12 months. It's not, you're not going to see an ROI, right? So it's hard to swallow. I can't just start SEO for you as a new chiropractic office or as a new any medical office. And I can't promise you traffic that's going to convert within 6 to 12 months because you're going up against thousands of other chiropractors in any major metro area that have been doing this for a decade plus, right? Mm-hmm. So I think starting out with advertising is a good way to make sure you have money coming in right off the bat, and having a budget of anywhere between $750 to $3,000 per month is going to help you get more people in the door right away. Mm-hmm. So advertising is a great way to start. Social media marketing is also really important. However, it's difficult without spending the money these days. As we all know, Facebook organic outreach for a business is about 3%. That's how many people will see it. Yeah. If you post as a business owner, if I post around a digital, if I post one of my blogs on my Rounded Digital page, I don't spend too much time on social media because I get most of my traffic from organic search. But if I do that, I've only got, I think, 400 or 500 followers on our Facebook page. 3% of those people are going to see that. So how much is that really going to help me? I could spend all day banging out posts and things like that, and we can only see me get 2 or 3 likes, and at least one of them is going to be my wife, and probably be you and the other one. Right. Right. It's your friends that support your business for the most part, and they're not new customers. So I definitely think starting with advertising is the way to go, but making sure that you're always somewhat investing into the search engine optimization side of things. Content, backlinks, most importantly.
Wow, super important. So, it's so easy to say, I see it all the time. I'm sure you do spend so much energy and so much time into social media. And what return on that time and energy versus your direct website?
Right. So it used to be a lot better.
It used to be a lot better, I know, and it's a lot different now. And you can see people spend a lot of energy in that, but then their website is
mediocre at best.
Right? Yes, exactly, and not even ranking on the first, second, or even the third page. Mm-hmm. So how do we optimize what we're we have so much dollars to spend as a doctor with a small business. How do you optimize where you get the most bang for your buck? Where do you put your most energy that you're going to get the best ROI?
I think that doctors, particularly doctors, have a great work ethic. Out of all the clients that I work with, they are some of the best DIY go-getters that there are in all the industries that I work in. So I think doctors can actually be held accountable into writing their own blogs for the first couple of years. But you've got to write blogs with a purpose, right? Mm-hmm. Writing a blog just for the sake of writing a blog isn't going to help you. So I will say I have a blog on my website called SEO Content Writing, Blogging with a Purpose. So I should have sent that over to you. I can afterwards, but that would be a blog that I would highly suggest anybody that owns a business reads if they're going to do the blog writing themselves, because you need to make sure that you're writing the blog properly and for the right reason. So Google just rolled out the helpful content update. It's basically Panda 2.0. And that means that Google is going to be penalizing websites that are using AI to write content. If it's content that is geared and focused towards search engines, then Google is going to derank it. If it seems like content that's written for humans, Google's going to boost it up. We have to write good quality content, really high quality content, engaging content, content with information, content with external links pointing to sources for what we're claiming is the truth, right? So writing your blogs properly is very important, and making sure that you're coming out with one at least every week, and making sure that your blog is at least 1,000 words per blog. Grammar has to be there. There's always, and that's a great thing about the time that we live in, right? We can just install the Grammarly Chrome plugin and it'll fix all of our typos and mistakes for us. So there's a lot of great tools out there, even if you're not the best content writer. You can always pay an agency like Rounded Digital to do your content. But in the beginning, you can do it yourself. Now, to expand on that, what you want to focus on if you're going to do it yourself is pillar content rating. So if you want to rank for auto injury chiropractor in the city that you live in, right? Which is a very beneficial and highly profitable search term, okay? Then my suggestion, and what pillar content writing states you should do, is you should write 10 1,000 to 2,000 word blogs, at least upwards of 20 or 50, however you want to do, that are all long tail keywords. Like, what are 5 things you should do immediately after being in a car accident? How does a chiropractor treat whiplash? How does a chiropractor treat hip accidents after a car accident, or hip injuries after a car accident? So longer tail search terms, right? Once you get all the smaller blogs done, then you want to do what's called the pillar article. So the pillar article would be anywhere from 3,500 to 5,000 words. And we call those ultimate guides, or everything you need to know about, right? So the ultimate guide towards where everything you need to know about auto injury chiropractic. And then all those articles must have internal links. And this stuff makes people's eyes glaze over. Unfortunately, I try to be as charismatic as possible when explaining it, but it's the truth. This is how you rank. This is why I rank for very competitive keywords. I just write the blogs the right way. And beyond that, you have to do more. I'll let you ask the questions, but then we have to get into blogger outreach, backlinks, article syndications. So it gets more complicated from there. But doing it yourself is a possibility for the first couple of years.
And you said something important that I think people might have missed, which was a Google update. I remember one of the updates happen all the time. And if you're a professional, you're not going to keep up with that. I know I don't want to take care of my lawn. I want someone else to do that. Okay. And I don't want to learn everything about and watch every update and then know all the strategies that are relative to update. I want someone else to do that who has expertise and has done this before successfully. Because people's lives are on the line for able to receive care and find my office compared to another office, So to expand more about this last update and why, I bet you a lot of people watching don't even know that one just happened.
Right. Yeah, it's not common knowledge unless you're in the SEO world. And I belong to a number of subreddits. I don't know if anybody's a Reddit person out there, but I belong to the SEO subreddit and the big SEO subreddit and entrepreneur subreddit and multiple others, and everybody's freaking out about this content update. I have never cared about an update, truthfully, just to be honest, everybody, since 2014 during Mobilegeddon, right? That was the last significant update to me. Outside of that, if you're doing SEO how Google's always told you to do it, then you're not going to have anything to worry about. Don't have Jarvis write your content, right? Jarvis is it's artificial intelligence,
right?
And they'll write content for you, and it's mediocre at best, and you can tell it's geared towards search engines. If you write content for your customers to help them understand the treatments that they're going to get, and if you write good content, then Google's never going to penalize you for that. It's just not going to happen. And we've never used any sort of AI to write our content. I have a network of over 50 different content writers at this point that I work with. And they're great at what they do. They all have specific niches that they work in. Some of them are, ex-pest control workers. Some of them are lawyers. Some of them are engineers. We've got, lots of medical professionals, RNs, firefighters, so on and so forth, that people just like to make an extra buck writing content on the weekends. And you can find these people too, but however, you're going to pay money. But the new content update isn't anything to worry about as long as you're writing your content for humans and not for search engines. That's the most important thing to always remember. Don't try and trick Google. It'll only work for so long, right? they scare you with a lot of these updates. They really do. But as long as you structure your website properly, that's something else we should touch on is website structure. That's something that a lot of chiropractors don't have. But as long as you structure your website properly and you write supporting content to build up your services, that's what's most important. And that's SEO as simplified as I can put it. So,
and you wrote a guide to chiropractic website design that will let people get through this in their blog. It's the ultimate guide to chiropractic website design. Is that what you're referencing?
Mm-hmm, correct. And I don't write this content. I have a content writer for Rounded Digital too, but she's been with us for 5 years now. So I don't write the content, but I explain to her everything that I want in it because she's a better writer than me. Right. But I do. I give her a really well written out prompt. I can write, but I don't want to write 5,000 word blogs.
Right. Well, the thing is, you have different gifts, and this is the same example. People think you're a chiropractor. Your role, what you do with your hands and what you communicate, focus on that. Let someone else do the writing, but you can tell them about what you want to share about your healing art. So that you talk about website structure. We'll definitely put the link for people to get that guide. What are some keys about the website structure that you want to point out to people?
Absolutely. Service pages. So the great news is if you Google search Google Guide to SEO, you will find a guide. It used to be in PDF form. They've now put it on their website. Good job, Google. Way to get that done. But you can just get this guide. And the most important part about that guide for anybody that's going to DIY, do it yourself, is the part that talks about URL structure, okay? URL structure is mostly pertaining to your service pages. mychiropracticwebsite.com/services/Graston technique, Graston-technique, so then services/dry-needling-Denver or whatever city you might be in. So it's really important to structure your URLs properly. And it's also very important to make sure that you have a service page for every different expertise and specialty that you have, right? For your auto injury chiropractor, prenatal chiropractic, pediatric chiropractic, as I already mentioned, Graston, dry needling, active release technique, all of these different specialties that chiropractors have, they are searched for. Pelvic floor dysfunction is one that I just did 5 new blogs for Denver Chiropractic. I just did a bunch of blogs on the K-laser. So different types of cold laser therapy that you might offer, decompression tables, everything you've got, make a service page for it. Mm-hmm. Every service page, minimum 500 words. I'd recommend 1,500 words of content. And then they have to be consistent with that content, right? An overview of what the service is, what you can expect when getting the service, who is the service for, frequently asked questions, right? Every page, if it's all structured the same, then you've got headers, your H1, your H2s, which are each individual paragraph below your main header of the article. And then you structure every service page like that, you're in the money, right? You got your home page, about page, team member page if you want to have one, individual team member pages if you're going to have that, service index, individual service pages, blog index, individual blog pages, contact page. I've only said that 800,000 times in my life.
and understand that's just the beginning.
That's just the beginning.
This is just scratching the surface. So then with that, we got content writing, you got building a website structure, you got content writing, website design, blog, and then also running ads and then linking that all together so people actually find you.
Yeah, well, the other part is backlinks. That's where people get confused on search engine optimization, but it's not that, it used to be confusing to me when I first started in the industry. You know, I was like, I don't understand these backlinks and how you acquire them, but it's become a lot more clear over the years. There are millions, if not hundreds of millions, of bloggers in this world, right? Niche bloggers that blog only about medical. Then there's also general bloggers that do everything from tech to finance to lifestyle, so on and so forth. You can reach out to these people. And actually the best way to do it is just search for, what is the search term that I use? guest post submissions
Mhm.
or guest posts in quotes on Google, and then put medical or guest post chiropractor. And then you can find URLs and websites and bloggers that will accept what's called a guest post. And if you do a guest post, that means that you're going to follow this blogger's guidelines on how to write content for their website. So you're going to say, hey, I'm going to volunteer to write a 750 word article for your website. And this article is going to be about Graston technique. And at some point within the article, I'm going to take the word Graston technique and turn it into a hyperlink that goes to your Graston technique service page. Therefore, boosting the authority of your Graston technique page, because that's simply a reference to Google. Google's saying, oh, okay, well, this blogger says that this guy is a good resource for active release technique or Graston technique or whatever. I think I said Graston. Stick with that. So that is a referral in Google's eyes. That's called a blogger outreach or guest post. We do a lot of guest posts. Every month, my SEO clients will receive a guest post for a service that we are primarily focused on. The more money they're spending with us, the more guest posts they get. We have black and white prices on exactly how much we charge to do blogger outreach and guest posting. Same thing with content. You know exactly what you're going to get. Something I love about our SEO packages. We don't just say we're doing SEO. We say you're spending this much, you're getting exactly this much in services each month. I love that. It's very black and white. There's no gray area there.
Well, and that's important. So let's tell more about Rounded Digital and what people can expect if they're working with you, how they would get started, or if they want to just know more about the website and have someone take a look and see if they're in what they need to do to improve it.
I still do all of our sales. I can handle. I've been to the point of close to where I'm, needing to bring on somebody else, but my business partner runs everything outside of the sales side of things. So I'm able to focus primarily on working with the clients and bringing them on board. And I will eventually grow our sales team, but up until that happens, probably won't be till next summer when my new office co-working space opens up in my neighborhood. But until then, I'm going to be running it still, which is over 6 years now. And they can expect to talk with me. I'll give them direct answers. You're not going to have Joe Schmo, the sales guy on commission, talking with you. You're gonna have me. I'm up front. I'm blunt. You're gonna know exactly what you need. The process is smooth with us. We've got a lot of experience in this. We've built over 170 websites. We currently are hosting and doing SEO we're hosting 140 websites. We're doing SEO for 110. So we've got quite a few clients. I've built my account management team, not my sales team. The sales, we do pretty well. We rank first for chiropractor SEO.
I saw that.
Subject. Yeah, sometimes second. We're battling Boost Medical or whatever they're called. But most of the time, we're first position for that. And we're a small agency. So to go up against these guys that have 20, 30 employees, and for us to still be proving it like we can, it feels pretty good. It's a little bit of a brush your shoulder off moment for me. But you know what I do is exactly what I tell my clients to do to rank, right? All I did was write, some supporting articles and a pillar article, and then I got some backlinks for the pillar article, and boom, you're first. It's not rocket science when you've been doing it for a long time. It just requires time to learn it and then executing it properly. But working with us is, in my opinion, it's fun. It's effortless for the client. It was ever since we brought on content writing 4 years ago that it has been effortless. Because when you come on with us, I'm going to say, hey, how many services do we provide? Usually it's going to be between 20 and 40 for chiropractors. Some of them do less, but most of them we can find 20 specific search terms that we want to work on that we're going to build out service pages for. You pay me for all of it. We finance it at 0% interest in-house. So they can come on board and get that perfect website that will last them for 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And we do it all. That's your website, your hosting, your perfect URL structure, all the content for your service pages, a robust footer with all the information you need, a Google review pop-up that stays there for you consistently, hovers, that shows your 5-star rating on Google. Everything that you need. Your contact page will be linked to your Google My Business page. It's perfect. And that's, in Google's eyes, it is a perfect website. At least that's our goal and always has been. So we can do the entire perfect website for you that will last you, like I said, for upwards of a decade, as long as you don't get bored with the aesthetics of the site and you change it. I mean, seriously, most of my first clients that came on board in 2016 are I think we only had 3 in 16. All 3 are still with us. None have changed their sites. They're all very happy. And one of those is Dr. Artichoker, who, I don't know if I mentioned this, his practice sees over 1,500 patients per month.
Wow.
Over 1,500 per month consistently. His best month for new patients was 194. So 194 new patients in 1 month, and that's no advertising. That is just organic search on Google. So, and of course, word of mouth. It's hard to differentiate that, although we do track phone calls and form fills on his Google My Business page. So of those 194 that he had, I think we looked at the numbers and it was like 137 or something like that. I have to go back and look, but I believe 137 came from online forms and clicks to call. And then his Google My Business page had a substantial amount of clicks to call as well. But we do some damage. I mean, that's 5 years worth of him investing in SEO with us. So it's over 5 years now. He began in November of 16. So this stuff works. It's just one of those, take your time to make it work. You gotta plan on being patient. So yeah, expect working with us to be easy. We want to just say, cool, sign here. Your website will be done in 60 to 90 days. And in the meantime, we can still run SEO, because most clients that come on board with us are already somewhat established businesses. Not all of them. We do take on brand new businesses on occasion. But if you're a business that is already has a website, but it isn't up to par, we can start building backlinks for you immediately, month 1, doing SEO while we build your new website. And we can also start writing new content for your blog on the new website that's coming out in a couple of months. So a lot of new clients, especially these days in the medical world, the med spas and chiropractors, they start with everything all at once. Mm-hmm. I'd say an average, I know you didn't ask, but an average dollar amount for chiropractors, if I could nail down the average they spend on SEO per month, it's $1,500. That's what most chiros spend. And if you don't spend that much, you can't really be getting that much. Mm-hmm. Be weary. I hate to say be weary, but be weary of the $299s, $399s, $499 per month kind of guys, because how much can you possibly do for that much per month? If you think about it from a professional perspective, mm-hmm. right? Like, how many hours of mine are you going to be able to get? And especially when it comes to, prices, if we charge $300 for a 1,000-word blog and you're spending $500 at $499 per month, I can't even do a backlink on top of that every month, right? Because a good backlink is going to run you $500. I've got to get that. I've got to write the content. I've got to reach out to the bloggers, get one of them to approve it, and then I have to submit it to their website in their exact format. So the time that it takes to do this is substantial, right? And the knowledge, and especially knowing exactly how many backlinks to get, right? I have another cool blog on my website called Backlink Strategies, Velocity, Volume, and Variety. There's some iteration of those words, but you have to have a specific velocity, variety, and volume of backlinks coming in. You don't want to get too many going straight to your homepage or too many going directly to your auto injury page within a certain month time period. You want to make sure you're varying those links, getting some different, there's other types of links out there we haven't even gotten into, but again, we'll just make eyes glaze over too much.
Well, no, it's very important for people to get that and realize how much is involved with that, to then have a piece of digital real estate that then brings you revenue consistently, because people don't think about it that way, but it really is, your digital piece of real estate that then people will keep finding and keep circling back to you.
That's a great way to put it. It is a digital piece of real estate, and it takes time to establish, right? There's 10 spots on the first page of Google. How many chiropractors are there in the Denver metro area? I don't know, to be honest with you. I'm gonna guess at least over 1,000 with offices. upwards of 3,000, 4,000. I don't know the exact number. I'm sure you probably have a resource somewhere that could figure that out.
There's a ton.
There's a lot.
Right.
If you're going to be in the top 10, if you're going to be in the top 10 positions for chiropractor Denver, you're going to have to put in some time and some money. It's going to cost money. But just think about what that gets for Dr. Artichoke, right?
Right. Well, you end up saving money in other areas of marketing.
Oh yeah, he doesn't spend $1 on anything else. Nothing. No Google ads, no Facebook ads. No, he doesn't get the same type of ROI. He doesn't do any print. All he's got is word of mouth and SEO. And the website that he's owned his website for over 4 years now. Usually people pay off their website with us their first year. So you'll buy the website, you'll buy all the content to start that website, you finance it. After year one, the website's paid in full. So if you're already comfortable paying around, that $1,200 to $1,500 mark to pay off the website, well, then you begin your SEO year two, right? And usually our websites alone will establish some solid rankings without ongoing SEO. You won't be page one, but you could easily find yourself on page 2, page 3 without doing any ongoing SEO, just because our websites are liked by Google and our content is liked by Google.
Right. Well, so in wrapping this up, and I'd like more people to find you and to find Rounded Digital, and also have more practice members, new potential practice members, find them. How can they get in touch with you to start?
Easily search Rounded Digital. You can contact me at my email address, which is justin@wearerounded.com. You can call me on my cell phone, 719-338-0384. And you can get on my website and just fill out a contact form. They're all over the place. And as soon as you fill out those contact forms, I'm one of those guys that's always connected. I'm going to get it popping up on my watch notification, my phone. It'll beep in my AirPods. I hate to be connected as I always am to the digital world, but as the guy that has to be talking to my clients anytime they need to speak to me, I have to always be connected.
And so also I'd recommend people grab that Ultimate Guide to Chiropractic Website Design, and also grab the Complete Guide to SEO for Chiropractors. So you'll have that there. You don't have to write it down while you're driving. If you're listening to this driving, you can grab it on the episode email that goes with this. And
my blog. Our blog is so filled. My blog, I write it as people-driven content. There is a gold mine of information on how to do this stuff yourself in my blog. You can literally learn everything I know if you just read through my blogs. It's all in there.
Excellent. So, and any last thing you'd like to share with chiropractors about their digital landscape and about Rounded Digital?
No, I just know that if you do contact me, I absolutely love SEO. I'm one of those people, and I know chiropractors love what they do too. I just know too many people in this world that do what they do because they have to do it, right? We all have to make a living. I love SEO. I love web design. And I think my favorite part about it is helping business owners achieve success, right? There's nothing better than that feeling of, I helped you do this, and now we're friends, and I'm going to invite you to my kid's birthday party if you're close by, so just feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help, show you the way to get there on your own, or be your agency on record for the next 10 years, because people stick around with us. I'd love to help.
Excellent. Again, Thank you for being, you're welcome. And thank you for being at Mile High last year. Thank you for helping chiropractors, because, there's a world out there of spines distorted that need the help that chiropractors have. And there's an easier way for people to find your door, and Rounded Digital will be a great way to get that kind of help, so you make more impact in your community. So again, thank you so much, Justin. And thanks
again. Love being here. It was great.
I love seeing what you're doing. I love your passion about it too, because I know the people that are passionate about what they do even better job. So, and we look forward to seeing everybody. Make sure you've cleared your calendar for September 2023. You want to be on higher ground at September 20th weekend in the Mile High State. And as you said, make sure you hit subscribe so you are always getting to listen to and watch Mile High Tick. Keep changing spines, lives, and minds with chiropractic.